Welcome back to another episode of Put It on the List. We have a packed show today. We got some cool trailers, we watched some space and some fantasy stuff. We find out if the biggest Rogue One hater in the galaxy can hang with Andor. And we have an inspired double feature for you guys today. Let's start the show. I'm Francisco, and I'm here with this week's star baker, Andres. Hello, chap.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? No, man, I need to have like a deep accent because there's some deep accents on this season, which we'll go into later.
Yes, the Great British Bake Off. You need subtitles.
Yes.
I don't know how you haven't watched it with subtitles before this year.
No, well, they're English and they mostly speak English. But now they're like, well, we'll get into it. We'll get into that when we talk about what we watched. But yes, there's some subtitles needed.
Yeah. Well, dude, Louisiana is technically United States, and technically they're supposed to be English, but them folks don't speak English.
Never get her.
You know, I think subtitles are like a touchy subject sometimes with some people, and I pretty much hands down have them on 100% of the time because I don't want to catch up. I don't want to miss any of the dialogue. So,
ever since you've been suggesting it, we've been doing it way more often because we rewinded it a bunch of times trying to understand what certain people are saying. Like, what the fuck did that person just say? And we rewinded like 3 times. Christina just turn the subtitles on, just turn it on so we could just see what they said and move on. I'm like, yeah, she's got a point.
It doesn't bother me anymore. Like, and I think too, like, watching foreign films, you gotta get used to it. Like watching Korean movies or French movies or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
actually, yeah. But side note to that, before we get news and tidbits, as we were just mentioning for like a brief second, this is our 25th episode. That's pretty nuts.
Yeah. 25.
Yeah. It's going well. Smooth.
You're still as beautiful as ever.
Yeah. The years haven't worn down on me too much.
I don't hate your fucking guts.
Oh, that's good.
We're not one of those bands that break up after like one fucking album. They're like, we're done.
I can't talk to them. They'll all arrive at the venue in different vans, and they'll have their own stage rooms, and they'll all walk in through a different entrance. They'll play
like Van Halen, right?
Like whoever it was, and then they'll walk off in their separate directions and like have zero interaction.
Yeah, we have to share our 25 fans, okay?
I guess so.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. We love you.
It's the quality of the fans. Yeah, it's been really cool. All right, let's get into some news and some tidbits.
Yeah, let's go. I was pretty excited to read about this because I'm a fan of their work, but the creators of Breaking Bad are setting up their next project at Apple. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. They have not announced what it is. No, they're going to keep it kind of quiet. They said it's a very grounded kind of thing, but whatever it is, I'm super like, all right, check it out.
Yeah. Vince Gilligan, man, he's a good writer, man, a great writer. So
I love the fact that he has like long-term vision for a show.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, we're going to tell this whole story in X amount of seasons, and this is going to be the story arc for this character.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes you for the ride, and they stay focused the whole time. Like other shows sometimes will be like, we don't know what's happening after season 1.
Yeah, like we're just going to wing it. I'm like, no, bitch, don't wing it. Have a plan.
This season is going to be all drama. Like what?
Like, oh, you know what's the biggest wing in it thing I've seen in the last few years is, and we're probably going to catch some, maybe not, I don't know. But the Rise of Skywalker, oh my God, bro. That was like, I watched that with Dave, my brother-in-law at the, shout out Dave. What up, Dave? At the theater. And every time something crazy would fucking happen, we just like look each other with a what the fuck face. Like, what? My neck started hurting as many times as I was turning to the side. Like, what the fuck? Dude, it was like the biggest turd. Oh man. It's the worst.
Dude, I remember watching The Rise of Skywalker in the beginning when the credits were rolling.
Yeah.
just that the title crawl alone, it just is like, oh, by the way, everything we did before doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All these people that we killed before, they're magically back to life. So nothing really fucking matters. Who gives a shit? Here you go. You're going to watch our shit anyways. That was literally the title crawl of the whole.
Yeah.
Like, that's how they opened the film. And it's like, we are now in like fantasy land, fan fiction land of like nothing matters.
Horrible fan fiction.
Dude, it was like, what? But, so yeah, and then we did the same thing during Obi-Wan. We had to like stop it and rewind it. I'm like, wait a minute. Did your eyeballs just see what my eyeballs just saw? Like, what the fuck was that? Like, they weren't even trying. But how the hell do we? Oh yeah. So yeah, have a plan, people.
Yeah, this
have
is not what not to do. Be Vince Gillian.
Have a plan and stick to it. Yeah. Oh my god. So yeah, I'm excited for his next show. Hopefully. Whatever it is, it's going to be fucking pretty cool.
Yeah. And Apple spends money.
And they announced the star of that show is Rhea Seehorn. Seehorn. I remember the first season of Better Call Saul. I'm like, damn, she's like the VIP. She's really good. Like, she's really good.
There was like a little sub, Reddit or thing going on that if her character dies in Better Call Saul, they riot. They better not kill her off. And, no spoilers, but everybody's safe.
Okay. Yeah, I had no idea. I assumed she was going to die, but I didn't watch it. So, anyways.
All right, moving on moving on.
The last one.
We got, this is a weird one. Mission Impossible filming interrupted by a sheep.
Yeah, did you see the pictures?
No.
Dude, I thought it was funny. So we said it a funny one. They were filming some action sequence like in Scotland or something this week. And apparently like a few hundred sheep kind of just waddled their way onto the set and through the set. And there's like all this video. Apparently these guys, the crew is cracking up and they're like, well, I guess today's done.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah, they couldn't. I mean, but what's crazy is like that. It's the 8th Mission Impossible. 8. Because 7th is done being filmed and it's being worked on. And so they're shooting the next one already back to back. And these fucking films are already like massively over budget because they're trying to shoot them in 2020, then 2021. And holy crap, dude, they've been shooting these things for 2 years. Like, that's insane. And the amount of money they've spent has been like, it's going to be one of the most expensive films ever made. Yeah. And then yet all the problems they've had with stunts going wrong and COVID, shutdowns, and insanity. Everything seems to be kind of going smooth, and then some fucking sheep show up on your set, and you're like, man, you're like, what the shit?
Yeah.
I guess at that point, all you gotta do is laugh. You're like, oh my god.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a hot take, but I think Tom Cruise is probably like the most bankable star right now. Even though this is like they're in the red right now because they're over budget.
Oh, dude, they're gonna be fine.
They're gonna be okay. Like after what Top Gun Maverick did, and all the expectations, and like they held that movie for how many years? It had been done for like 2 years right before they released it.
It was finished, yeah.
And so yeah, at least that's like their ace in the hole. Hey, at least we got Tom Cruise, and like everybody's gonna flock to see it. But I mean,
those movies are gonna be ridiculous amounts of money. Like they're gonna be fine.
Do you think he's the biggest he's ever been, or has he been bigger at a different point of his career?
It's hard to say because I mean, Maverick is. I think that's by far the most amount of money he's ever made in a film before. I think that would count, and I think his next film, which comes out next year, will probably be like second most amount of money. So if you have like 2 back-to-back billion-dollar films, that's kind of undeniable.
Yeah. And he'd been on a hot streak before that because it was Fallout, Edge of Tomorrow, Rogue Nation, Ghost Protocol. I'm like, that guy was not messing around.
No.
He's
focused. Him and Vince Gillian had coffee one day and someone told someone to stay focused and they both did it. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. Oh, man. I'm excited for it.
But, oh, dude, I'm trying to keep my shit together, trying not to be overly excited, but I'm excited.
Yeah. All right.
Same team. All right. Continuing on.
All right. What we watched.
Yeah.
A little show. Great British Bake Off.
Yeah.
We talked about the first episode, right?
Actually, let's talk for a second. Actually, I keep calling it Bake Off because in America it's sometimes called Bake Off and it wasn't, but it's technically called The Great British Baking Show.
Oh, I thought it was championship.
Dude, we call it Bake Off though in the house. That's all you have to say is Bake Off, and we know exactly what it means. So whatever, man. The Great British Show. But yes, we watched the first episode.
Yeah, there's some cool people. I think we slightly touched base, but I was like, man, the people on the season, they're pretty likable right off the bat. Yeah. Sometimes you have to get used to people and like their quirks, but I was like, everybody seems like understatement, super fucking nice, and it was cool.
I dug the energy. I think the quality of Baker is pretty damn high.
Yeah.
There's like one or two people. It's amazing. Like you'll see one person, and I already forgot his name, the fucking stud muffin dude, apparently, of the group. This dude was busting out like a double layered cake sandwich, and then he put it into some kind of like a chocolate glaze, I don't know, hardened shell, and then he put like some roses on top, and I'm like, God damn, dude, chill out. This is like day one.
Yeah.
And then like a dude across from him just had some crumbly thing. He was trying to shove some crumbs together to form a cake, and he just kind of topped it with some bullshit. And you're like, God damn.
There's
you know what I'm talking about.
There's some fucking hot mess shit going on too. But it is funny because I think last year he was one of the finalists. The older German guy the last season.
Oh, dude, he was like swinging. A machine.
He came out swinging hard, bro. Like, and and like some people sometimes they come out swinging hard, like big swings, and it's kind of hard seeing people miss, like doing big swings and missing. But another thing is like, how many times do they practice this shit at home? And do they just have endless supplies of stuff? Because I'm like, each time they bake something, it's $30-$40. You practice it 5-6 times. You're talking about a good amount of money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But oh yeah, we watch stuff. We see some of the ingredients. We're like, no, we don't use that. Nope, not using that.
No.
She's like, hey, can we get some of that sweet? Nope.
For practice? Practice? We talking about practice? We're not practicing that shit.
We're one and done. You better eat it.
You better fucking know.
You burn the edge of the cake. You better cut that off and eat the rest.
Yeah. Man, that's funny.
But yeah, and so like with the accent thing that we were talking about earlier, damn, we turned the subtitles on too, because there's like 2 Scottish dudes, one dude from, I think is he Dutch? I'm not even sure. There's 3 dudes. I can't understand anything they say, almost. And there's one other one who's like on the fence. And I'm like, all right, so it's going to be a subtitle kind of season.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
But overall, I loved it. I was happy that it was back. It felt everything was great.
Yeah, it was doing what it was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? It was smooth sailing. It's a machine now. You know what I'm saying? We turn it on. We want nice people making some crazy shit, and some people fucking up and not overdoing it. But yeah,
you're not rooting against anybody.
Yeah,
I'm more like curious because I'm like, I'll happily eat like 80% of the shit that shows up.
Yeah, that one lady, I can't remember. I don't know if she was Indian or Burmese or.
Oh, I think she's one of the 4. I have her as number 1 right now. My number 1 pick. I think she's going to be the most consistent. And I have that Dutch dude who actually, as my number 2 dark horse. What you got?
Yeah, well, the kid that won Star Baker, I mean, he was pretty good too. So
yeah,
is he the Dutch guy you're talking about? Is he Dutch?
Yeah, oh. That's him.
Oh, okay,
I think it's something like that.
Yeah,
it ain't English.
Yeah, we're looking forward to keep this going.
Yeah, it's fun. And then, what was the last thing I was going to say? Oh, I was watching the episode and like we're laying on the couch. And I'm like, God damn it, I need a red velvet cake in my life right now.
Oh yeah, yeah. They look good.
Pretty damn good. Yeah. I was like, oh
yeah.
So yeah, I'll say that for this episode.
Yeah.
I need some more red velvet cake in my life, and I think that's going to probably happen in the next month or so.
Yeah, I like that. Right. I like that challenge that you do in the middle, where the technical challenge, where they're like they give them the ingredients and they kind of have to figure out how much or whatever. I'm like, how much food coloring they put? Glops and shit. Crimson. What's a crimson?
Or it's like, what's a red velvet cake? Oh, it's an American thing. You're like, ha, fuck you.
Yeah. All right.
Because some of the things they cook, I'm like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Like a pudding?
Yeah.
That ain't a pudding, but it's fun. That's so much fun.
Yeah. Uh,
All right.
moving on, we watched Andor. We
Yeah.
watched I myself watched the first three.
I watched almost the first two, except for the last few minutes of the second episode.
Big question
Yeah.
to Mr. Hates
Yeah.
Rogue One with all his might. How was this? Was it this a continuation of Rogue One? Because it was. And how do you feel about it?
It's technically a prequel to Rogue One.
No, but it's the same shit. It's shot the same
It's the
way.
same feel. So, oh man,
Oh,
it's so much to unpack. But I'm just gonna start here. Andor is by far the best Star Wars show they've done since like Mandalorian season 1 and 2. Like leaps and bounds, and I can't tell if it's really that good or the other shows have just been so like mediocre that it makes this show elevated so much more.
yeah. Well, I think it's the best Disney Plus show ever. That's where
I
I'm
mean,
at.
I think,
Throw them all
yeah,
in there. Throw them all in there. The
yeah.
best Disney Plus show ever.
I think
Go ahead.
the consistency of the show is the highest of all the shows so far. It's focused,
Yeah.
and the writing. There was 2 scenes in the first episode, back to back, simple scenes that established several of the characters so well, and they were so simple. It was just like Andor talking to his buddy at the mine. Like that interaction was so good. It was so human, and it's like so like it felt natural
Yeah.
and authentic. And then it went on to the next scene of like this 2 dudes in an office going over some like business officey shit, and that was like those 2 scenes back to back were so well written and so well acted. I was like, this is a Star Wars show, but this is like just fantastic. I don't know if you call it theater. I don't know. It was just like I was in there with these guys. I'm like, I was digging it. There's so many little things that they did that none of the other shows do. It's like writing, like the dialogue in the other shows. It's like the last thing they do. They're like, let's do a cool thing here. Let's do a cool thing there. Figure out some words in between. And let's go film it.
Yeah.
Like this is like Tony Gilroy who wrote this and came up with it. He has, I think he might have sat down with Vince Gilligan also and had a cup of coffee and he said, stay focused, have a plan, because they clearly do.
Well, he's the one that saved Rogue One. So that's why they kept going with it.
Apparently, yeah. And maybe all the best parts of that were his. And also, I love the aesthetic that they brought in, like visually. It's the most consistent and grounded. And they did such a great job of just showing that world.
Yeah.
It's very contained for the most part. But I mean, it's very grounded, but thorough. It's a very thoroughly designed world. And it was like the best looking Star Wars show, I think, of all of them, too. It's just like a real, it's cinematic. It's the most cinematic show. Like some of these other shows were, they're lacking some designs, and like the Boba Fett show with those dipshits on those spikes that were all colorful. I'm like, that does not belong in this world at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like visually, what did it do for you?
I mean, this show did a lot for me. I have a lot of like points. Like one, no fucking sand. Thank you, baby Jesus. And no sand dunes anywhere. Nobody's fucking doing sand castles and shit, you know. So there we go. Thank you. 2, mostly human characters. I mean, there was a couple little aliens here and there, but man, I think that's part of the grounding it. So I think this is like the least Star Wars show that's a Star Wars show. You know, it's like there's like if you didn't know Star Wars, you wouldn't think it was a Star Wars show. And
exactly.
But the quality is like high level. You know what I'm saying? And and visually, man, like when they would do like the pans to the you know the planet and like the landscapes and all that, man, it was awesome, dude. I loved it. And the acting, I mean, Diego Luna, man, he's knocking it out of the park. Everybody is.
Yeah.
And and the little, and I love how some of these characters don't have a dialogue, but they're doing a lot of acting with their face, and you know, like the boyfriend.
Dude, yeah, the show is so understated. It's so good. Like it's like they're just letting people, like actors, like they cast people because of their ability to act and emote, and they got the right person for the right role. They're not like, oh, this person's famous, let's see where we could shove them into the show someplace. Like everyone was cast appropriately.
Yeah.
Like all the characters, like there's some like pretty legit actors. I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
oh shit, oh shit.
Yeah.
And they're all understated.
Yeah.
And they're not like, I am here, I am acting. You're like, oh god.
Yeah. And in the first episode, the first sequence, you're like, you knew it was gonna be different because the altercation that Diego Luna has with those two people, and you're like,
Yeah.
whoa, that's not your regular kiddie Star Wars stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, and there was some like almost like there's easily the most sexual situation in a Star Wars film, movie, show ever, and it's not even that much.
And complicated, right? Because there's like more than one situation.
Yeah. I was like, geez. Even Christina was like, I'm not sure if I want to see that in a Star Wars world. You know what I mean? But I'm like, but it's a grounded, like, real world. Like, it's gonna get down and dirty with like the politics and like the espionage and like this is kind of cool. So to answer the question, I really, really dug it, and this could easily be my favorite Star Wars show.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, hope you stick with it, Quitter. So.
Yeah, I still got one more.
But
it's cool that it's available. I'm super stoked, and they already announced that the show's got like
there's 12 episodes,
and there's like a 4 or 5 season arc that they've already planned out. Apparently, so like they have a plan.
Yeah,
I'm super digging it.
Yeah.
All right, so there you go. Andor, Disney Plus, that top of the list right now. It's pretty. It's a little slow burn just for folks listening. It's a little slow at first, but setting up a lot. And then I didn't get to watch the 3rd episode, but someone I know did. And I'm pretty sure people are pretty happy, like the first 3 episodes.
Yeah. And I'll say that if you watch the first 3 episodes together, it kind of plays like a film. Like it's all together, you know, it's not like, oh, this week on, you know, there's not a real gap. It's a continuation of one single arc. So if you can, try to watch it all together so you can get that, you know, complete feel of it, of the story. So I enjoyed it, man.
Yeah, I'm super digging. I'm looking forward to finishing it later today.
Yeah.
All right, what we got next?
All right, moving on. We got. I watched House of the Dragon episode 5. How did you watch that?
I too watched House of 5. You know what's funny? Is I was so on the fence. Like, should I just take like a month off and just kind of like let the show play out and see what people say? Just because I was so fucking like the 4th episode was so bad for me. And literally we were just kind of like on the couch a couple nights ago in the evening, like, all right, what do we need to watch? Are we caught up on everything? I'm like, we're caught up on everything. All right, let's try this fucking House of Dragon shit. Francisco said it was better.
Yeah.
So we watched it. So we did get into it.
Thoughts? Better? No better?
It was slightly better than the 4th episode for sure.
Yeah.
But okay. It's still not good. Like there was some it had potential to be good. There's some setup and some interesting stuff, and how their choices to like tell the story were terrible.
Yeah.
Like they just did random things to kind of move the story forward. Like during that ball or banquet. Number 1, fucking ballroom dance scene in Game of Thrones. Like this big choreo. What show were we fucking watching? Like even Christina at some point was like, what is this, Bridgerton? Like this is not right. And it was weird. And then like everyone else dances. There's this giant choreographed dance hall scene. Like what?
That's how they danced back then.
Yeah, but they don't show that shit on Game of Thrones. Like it's like the visual style. I didn't think it belonged.
Yeah.
And then that led into that like some kind of a fight, which they don't even show how it happened. They're just all of a sudden people are fighting, and all of a sudden one dude's like, I'm gonna murder this guy just because
he was talking shit to him.
So very little though. But I mean, this
that guy this guy's on the edge, bro. Come on. He asked the old girl, be like, marry me. You know, I stained my white suit. You know?
I guess so. I guess if he's at that point where he knew he already crossed the line, might as well just keep crossing. I guess
he was full of virtue, man. He was like the virtuous fucking person in the you know, Knight's Guard or whatever.
Would the most virtuous person murder someone in front of like an entire room full of
he snapped
dozens and dozens?
He snapped.
I don't know. That was weird.
I'm glad to see that the hate is back. You kind of tucked it away
Good.
for a little bit, but the
Good.
hate is back. You're wearing your favorite color, red.
Yeah.
You're like, stop, red, stop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. On fire.
yeah.
Oh man, there's a lot of other things. I just, but you know what? Tell me what you liked, so I'll back off.
No, you're good. I mean, I like the episode for just moving along the story. It's like it's just another fucked up wedding on a Game of Thrones show, basically. You know what I'm saying? It's like every time there's a wedding, you know they're gonna fuck it up somehow. You know, so um,
Yeah, I was waiting for a whole bunch of murders. So like, I only got one.
yeah, you're waiting for the entire everybody that was dancing just cut their heads off.
Yeah,
Um,
something like do some Game of Thrones shit. Finally.
yeah, I thought it was funny
You,
though, like in the beginning of the episode where, because man, Valeris the king is not looking well, buddy. I don't know what to
no, not
say.
at all.
That motherfucker is not healthy. He needs to get on a wellness plan or something. But
Needs to drink some celery juice.
yeah, man, they made and then Corliss made him walk. He didn't even greet him, and I'm like, man, this guy's dissing him, and like the whole bargaining for the marriage and all that. You know what I'm saying? I
It
like
just
all
felt
that.
weird,
I like the politics. I like the the slight, you know
like the
the
shittiness.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah. I like that shit.
What I don't get is they're supposed to be the Targaryens. If like they've ruled the dynasty for like thousands of years and
Yeah.
have dragons, they're like the dynasty.
Hmm.
And so far, they're all a bunch of fucking dipshits. And I'm like, this is the fucking guys that rule for 1,000 years? You know what I mean? I was kind of like, where are these people that were supposed to be so feared and crazy? And like, where are those guys? Where'd they go? You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't feeling it. Like, I thought we were going to watch some like highly disciplined, highly crazy things. And instead we get like,
Valeris, he's
I don't know.
fucking weak. He's weak.
Yeah, he sucked. Yeah.
So,
So I'm like, that's
that's
kind of lame.
yeah. Well, you feel cheated?
Yeah. I wanted to see some crazy shit. Hopefully some crazy shit's coming. Still only like halfway.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. How I think I read it was gonna be like a 10-year jump. So this is
I
the
read
last.
something of a jump. Yeah.
So this I think this is the last episode for some of these young actors. And
Yeah.
I saw a trailer and I saw Valeris with old man makeup. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I think that's a really cool way to tell a story. So that keeps me, that one thing alone keeps me interested. Like I want to see what they
yeah,
are planning to, how to tell this story.
yeah.
Other than that, and like the opening scene where like it seems like this big dramatic murder scene. You're like, oh damn. Except the one problem is we've never met the one character who was being murdered. Like, and it seemed like they had weight to this whole scene, but really, we've never met this person before. So why am I supposed to give a shit? And I guess we're just setting it up for later. It felt
Not
awkward.
because of who it was.
Yeah, but they could have mentioned it or something.
They've mentioned her before, and then she throws back what he said about her. You know, like, oh, she's uglier than the sheep, and then she's like, oh, the sheep are pretty good here. So somebody went back and told her, bro, are you paying attention to the show? No,
Apparently not. Because
apparently
it's just
not.
kind of like,
No, just the hate. It's all right, bro.
yeah, that's probably that. There you go. But yeah, only because of the way they're telling the story, I'll probably watch the next episode out of sheer curiosity.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting though at the very end when the queen kind of consoles the knight.
Well,
And I'm kind of
she's gonna use them for something.
yeah, so I'm kind of curious where that little storyline goes. Like that's all right, drama. I like that part.
Yeah. And then I did like that shot when they like homie's crying for his dead lover on the guy that's getting married to Rhaenyra.
Oh yeah.
And like the shot
That was that was
you don't like the shot with
drama
with the blood on the floor and then the rats.
yeah. Oh yeah, that was a nice last shot. That was drama. I liked it.
Yeah.
That they need more of that.
Yeah. Well, if people didn't spend their entire time hating, they would notice things, you know. But whatever, you know, some people hate. They hate us because they ain't us.
Yeah, that's it. I wish I had a dragon.
All right, man. Next on the list, we got Light and Magic ILM documentary. You mentioned this to me. I haven't had a chance to check it out. I really want to, and because I like all the behind the scenes stuff. So, why don't you share with us your thoughts on that?
Sure. Well, I think it's a 6-part documentary. We were only like 4 episodes in. They're like an hour each. It's a long haul show, and it's basically how industrial light and magic started. to do, like, George Lucas needed effects for Star Wars. He started hiring the best people he knew who were the smartest, and then they had to figure out, all right, how do we actually do this thing?
Yeah.
So they literally had to build all this equipment that from the ground up and from this warehouse, like in Van Nuys, and they had to hire their friends that kind of knew stuff. So they try to find like the smartest of the smart people, and slowly had to like become a company and start getting organized so they can actually finish this fucking movie. And the whole time, like, they're building this thing, George Lucas is out shooting Star Wars like in England, and it was just nothing but problems. And the whole documentary, they're interviewing the top dudes now. Looking back on then, there's a ton of archival footage of like these guys as kids trying to like figure out how the hell do you make a Millennium Falcon fly, and all the technology and all the problems they faced it, and just all the personality conflicts, and it was like a miracle that it got made. And it was like, it's a fascinating watch for anyone who likes Star Wars or special effects or filmmaking history. It's so cool. And I think we're at the part where like the digital age is coming in. So now there's like Jurassic Park and Terminator, stuff like that. And you get to see like the bridge from the practical filmmaking and like in this big, long, this giant studio using actual cameras and transitioning then to like the world of digital and computers, and taking these artists and having them train. It's like, how do we use the computers to do the same thing we're already doing? How do we solve these same problems, but digitally? It's basically a show that's really fun to watch because you just get to watch people solve problems. And that's kind of all it is. And from like a creative standpoint, like we both loved it. Sitting on the couch, we're like, oh, that's smart. Oh, that's genius. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, that's the way to do it.
That's cool.
So yeah, if you're like a film historian, it's like a historical document of like filmmaking. Like this began what we all experience. Like you watch Game of Thrones, the dragons and shit, you could pretty much trace all that back to like them, Jurassic Park, like all the shit that they were doing.
Yeah.
So it's fascinating, and you get to watch everyone like in retrospect talking about their time there. And what's really crazy is I think there is 3 dudes in the show that I've actually worked with at some point, and I'm like, holy shit, like that's. And I had no idea some of the stuff that they put up with and learned and had to figure out. I'm like, oh my God, like I knew they were the shit, but like not that level. So I was like, God damn, this is awesome.
Yeah.
So that was like really cool getting to see like this inside peak of history in the 70s. Like it's nuts.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think you'll dig it if you watch any of it.
Yeah. I'll definitely put it on the list.
Yeah, I highly recommend it for the list for just people who want to learn just anything. Like how the hell did shit get done back in the day? It's nuts.
Yeah.
And it's like Spielberg comes in and he just talks about like how they did like Poltergeist, and you see some of the Poltergeist effects. You're like, holy shit. Like it's so cool. Like how they shot stuff back in the day. So yeah, anyone who's interested in filmmaking history, check it out. It's just a fun, cool watch.
Cool.
You'll dig it, dude. You should check it out.
Yeah, definitely will. Okay, moving on to the best segment, trailers, our favorite. Yeah. All right, 50-50, I don't know, because this is a scary stuff. A spooky season is almost here. And
spooky.
Yeah, and then we got the new trailer for the new Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
I did.
Cool. What's your relationship with the original Hellraiser when we were kids?
I actually watched the first 2 Hellraisers as a kid.
Yeah.
I didn't love them.
Story-wise, but like visually, they were fucking disturbing, right?
Oh yeah, like, and then like the scenes where that dude gets turned into Pinhead and some of the other people like in this scene we're just gonna strip all the fucking skin off this person. You're like, okay,
yeah.
As a kid watching that shit, I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, chains. I'm like, yeah. It was like, don't be a bitch. Don't look away. Your cousins are watching. Mira tu primo, like, don't turn away, man. Even if you want to, you're way too little to be watching this. But, yeah, dude, I remember I had the same feelings. I'm like, wait, I shouldn't be watching this. And then I'm like, why are there so many chains?
It's not just chains, it's chains with like hooks. Yeah. And the hooks go into the skin and then they pull them fucking tight.
Yeah.
It's not like.
Like, I wonder what the budget was for all the metal and all the blood in these movies. There was a lot of metal and a lot of blood. What the fuck? Why do we need so much blood?
And like at the center of all these stories, there's like a little puzzle that needs to get solved. And like, but in between there, we got to murder a
Yeah,
whole lot of people. And you're just like, what the fuck?
yeah. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, and that's yeah. So, anyways, the trailer looked kind of. It's a contemporary take on it. Looks pretty cool. I'll check it out just for
I thought visually, I thought it looked completely consistent,
yeah,
and it looked the quality was really, really good.
yeah. I don't know what
Like
the
it didn't look
story's.
cheap.
Yeah, I don't know what the
Yeah,
story's gonna be, but I'll give it a shot.
that's like the secondary interesting thing to people. The
Yeah,
story.
yeah, yeah. They want to see how
Yeah,
fucked up it's gonna be.
yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be on Hulu. I doubt I'll watch it unless you really recommend it to me. But
Yeah,
yeah. Any other final thoughts on Hellraiser?
yeah. But it's gonna be okay. I think.
I think it'll be fine.
Yeah,
Another horror film. Sticking with that
yeah,
is Knock at the Cabin.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
talk
like
about
this
that one.
trailer, man. I like this trailer. I kind of like the premise and stuff. It's kind of
It's
I
very Shyamalan.
yeah, yeah. And like my one thing is they're gonna be like, oh, there's a twist at the end, and I'm like, I don't know. I hope it's not like something dumb, but 50-50, it's gonna be
I would say
dumb.
probably less than 50-50, but all right.
But like I think he's on an upswing right now for me personally because I really like The Servant, the show that he has on Apple Plus, and there's like 4 seasons of it, and I really enjoy that, and hopefully he can translate what he's doing on the small screen on the streamers into full length feature. So we'll see how it goes. The cast looks cool to me. I'm like, okay,
The cast looks super cool.
yeah, everybody's
I
on the same
think
page.
for me, I think Shyamalan's on a downswing because
Not like
the
Airbenders downswing, bro. That was the low.
not that far, not that far, but the how do I say this? The his old movie old, not that great, not that great.
Yeah. I
But
never
the
watched it.
cast, yeah, yeah, it'll be fine. But the cast, like Dave Bautista, is like looks like the main guy.
Yeah.
He's always good. I like watching him on
Yeah.
screen, man. I like in Blade Runner 2049. It's a smaller role, but it
Yeah.
was like intense and like
Yeah.
it just felt right. Like he has a good screen presence. So I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to it. I'm gonna hear you talk about this film and you let me know, then I'll probably check it out.
I'll tell you, oh, don't worry, mija, there's no jump scares. And then that way you'll be like, oh, thank goodness. I watch it with the light on. Um But yeah, Batista. Speaking of Batista, I like that he doesn't have any like crazy makeup on. Like, good for him. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It's like it's gonna be like a legit acting thing. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
most of us know him from, if not wrestling, from Drax. So
yeah.
uh,
Guardians of the Galaxy.
yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah. But yeah. Fingers crossed for that one. All right, what's we got next?
Let's talk about Bardo first. We got
Okay.
the Alejandro G. Iñárritu. He changed it. He didn't go González Iñárritu now. He goes G. Iñárritu. I don't know who he did that for, but anyways. So the new Alejandro G. Iñárritu movie. It's funny that the trailer was interesting visually. It looks fucking crazy. I don't know what's going
Yeah.
on.
No.
So I mean, if that's what he wanted, he succeeded.
It's trippy. So this is coming into Netflix, I think, in a couple months.
Oh, really?
Never even heard of this film.
Yeah.
Actually, shout out to my sister Celestina. Actually sent me this trailer this morning.
Oh, what up to
I had
you?
never even heard of this thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I had to watch it twice actually, because I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure
It's
it's
like,
going to be in Spanish.
no, it's
100%.
gotta be.
Yeah, because there's
Yeah.
no dialogue in the trailer. There's just music. So I don't know if they're like
There's
trying to
like
trick people into watching it.
there's scenes of like disco dancing, then there's scenes of look like a fucking Mexican revolutionary battle.
Yeah.
And there's scenes of a dude who's like on a bus, but the bus is flooded with water, and he's like swimming around trying to find his fit. I'm like, what the? It's gonna be an absolute surreal, just fucking
Yeah.
crazy film.
It's a very Kaufman-esque kind of thing,
Yes, yeah.
like,
It could be really cool if the pacing is good, but
yeah.
it could be a piece of shit if the pacing sucks.
Yeah. It's got those elements of being John Malkovich and Eternal Sunshine, but with like murder and blood and, crazy.
I kind of get the feeling this dude's going to be aiming high for his Oscar for this film just because it's so out there.
He already has it.
And
He doesn't have to do
no,
shit.
but he's going to go for some more. So we'll see.
Does he have one or two?
At least one.
At least one. I know he won for Revenant. I don't know if he won for The Birdman. And Babel didn't he direct Babel?
Yes.
Did Babel win?
I don't think so.
I mean, anyways, he's been around. He's got big films, so we'll see.
Ambitious. His films are always ambitious.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious to see what this is. I couldn't tell you what it's about.
Nope.
Maybe that's better. We just go in blind.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think December comes on Netflix in December, and it's cool that it's on Netflix, so we could just dip in and out if it fucking is cool or it's not cool.
Yeah. Your favorite, turning it off.
Yeah. Out of here.
Yeah, out of here. You should have been an umpire for baseball. And you're out.
Oh, dude, I'll be the most dramatic. Get the shit out of here.
Oh, you thought.
Yeah. All right.
You thought. Get out of here. All right.
You thought you were safe. You're out.
I think we saved the best for last. All right. As far as trailers go, we got the Steven Spielberg, The Fablemans. Fablemans? Yeah,
Fablemans.
This shit looks beautiful. It looks beautiful.
It does. It's a trailer that's based on You say it, motherfucker. Stop doing that.
Semi-autobiographical.
That's the one. Get your tongue back in your mouth. It's based on Spielberg's life as a kid and the things that kind of caused him. He kind of he's talked about it before. He found filmmaking because the trauma of his parents' divorce kind of had on him, and he needed to find an escape, and he found films. And this kind of is like a love letter to films in his youth of like making films as a kid. And that's basically what this film, the premise of it is. And it looks gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous, man. And like watching the trailer, I'm like, man, I wonder if he held some of these like he's had the ideas for these shots in his head for a long time and he just kept them in his pocket. Cause it's like, dude, that's a Spielberg shot. And I'm like, oh man, that looks really cool. Oh, that's a neat trick. What? Oh man, I'm so excited. And I like that in the trailer, it gives me the sensibility that you had when you watched those old Spielberg movies that have like imagination is key and just like trying to make sure you capture that. And man, it makes me nostalgic for those moments when I was a kid and I was watching, Raiders or those type of movies and stuff. And you're like, damn, just imagining crazy shit like that.
Like a throwback. It looks gorgeous. And I'm so excited for this film. It's crazy because Sam Mendes has another film that looks like a love letter to cinema too. I think his is like 1940s or 50s or something like that in, I think, London. So it's like it's a different perspective, but the same subject. So I'm super curious if these back to back how they play.
I wonder, who was Spielberg's cinematographer in this? Do you know?
I didn't check, but it's got to be Yanis Kaminski because he shoots all of his stuff. I'm gonna look it up right now. That dude's the shit.
Yeah. Because I mean, Sam Mendes doesn't have no slouch over there. You got Roger Deakins.
No, he usually gets right. I mean, between those two directors of those two cinematographers, dude, you're just in for a treat.
Yeah. Anything
they do, like I'm in
for sure. So we're both super excited for that. So man, it looks so good, man. I hope it's great. And I'm definitely gonna try to watch that in the movie theater.
Dude, it's gonna be cool. You're probably gonna walk out crying, man.
For sure. Because I'm a
crybaby. You're a big softy.
Yeah. All right. New to the list. We briefly talked about this a couple of weeks ago. It's Lou starring Janney. What's her name?
Oh, Allison Janney.
Janney on Netflix. Yeah. It looks cool. Yeah. Kind of like a survivalist in the wrong spot, wrong time kind of thing, in the woods. Yeah. We'll see how it is. I mean, it's like if you want to watch that and don't think about things, action kind of movie, this looks like this is going to be your bag. Lou on Netflix.
She's never really done action. Like she's an awesome actress.
Yeah.
I remember her as like the mom in
Yeah.
I, Tanya. I'm like, oh, she's such a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And and here she is like whooping people's asses as an older woman who's living in a cabin in the woods and wants to be left alone. Like the trailer alone, I'm like, shit. And this just came on Netflix today. And I'm excited to watch this. I just want to see what she does. Like everything she does is awesome. So
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah. Me too. And then okay, moving on.
Actually, the other thing that's new to the list, I think, dude, I didn't tell you, but I think this weekend gonna rent Maverick Top Gun because it finally is available for like digital rental
Yeah.
because it was only for sale. I think this weekend made it rental.
Yeah.
But for like $5, I want to see what this $1 billion movie's all about. If it's as good as you say it is, I might end up buying it on Blu-ray.
Yeah. Well, it's the entire world says it. It's not just me. The entire anybody that's seen it has been like, oh, they come out humming out of that thing.
All right.
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna say much. I just, just
Yeah, we'll talk about it next week, maybe.
take your hater hat off, and then
Yeah, I'm good. I'm stoked. Like I would buy this movie sight unseen on Blu-ray right now if it was available.
Yeah,
That's how that's the faith I'm putting in you.
it's pretty cool.
Blind faith, son.
Yeah. Don't just take my word for it. Take the $2 billion it's made. I don't know. It's close. It's close to it, right?
Yeah, it doesn't hurt.
All right. Moving on. We got a pretty cool double feature idea this week, I think. There's a movie that came out in the theaters last week, starring Viola Davis. It's called The Woman King. There's been pretty good reviews and really good positive word of mouth about this movie, and she plays like a woman. It's a messed up kind of story because there's two sides to every story, right? But anyways, she's the king, and she's protecting her tribe in Africa from people that are trying to take her tribemen away and sell them off as slaves. So she's fighting against that, and she plays a very powerful woman character. So in honor of that, we're going to do a double feature on powerful women.
Yeah.
All right. I got there.
So
I described it. I'm proud of myself.
Yeah. Good for you, man. Proud of you.
All right.
Yeah. So I have my two. I had to do my two picks, and you have your two picks just in case there's no conflicting.
I went first last time, so in fairness, you go first. You get your first pick. Yeah, because I picked first last time.
There's almost two, but I'm gonna go for the one that might not get as much love as I think it deserves. Atomic Blonde. Charlize Theron. Okay. Fuck, that movie is bananas.
Yeah.
Like I think she's a professional dancer before she was doing like Hollywood stuff because as an action person, she can move so smoothly in these fight scenes. Like her feet are always in the right place and her balance is always correct. I mean, and this scene is no shortage of like amazing action sequences. Like it's the co-director of the first John Wick film did this, and he did Deadpool 2, and he just did Bullet Train. So he's very depth at action films, and she's just badass. The whole cast is badass in this film, and I knew this was going to be a cool film, but after watching, I'm like, dude, this is even better. And like I thought, this is great. So I went with Atomic Blonde just because Charlize Theron just kicks ass for like 2 hours.
Yeah, you know what? I was going into it. I wasn't expecting much from this movie. I thought it was just gonna be like a throwaway action movie.
Yeah.
But like you, man, I was like, holy shit, she's really kicking ass in this, and like it looked good.
And not like in that, not in the Hollywood way where it's like when Halle Berry's kicking ass, you're kind of like, not always.
Not in a Halle Berry Catwoman kind of way, but like in a
yeah. This is like a down and dirty back alley, like rip someone's eyeball out to survive. Like it's gnarly.
Yeah. So it's my turn, and I didn't have that one. All right, I'll give you that.
Oh, good.
I had my number one pick, to be honest.
Some of us could think out of the box.
Yeah, I mean, I still had a Charlize Theron movie, but it was a different one.
I bet. I know. That's why I didn't choose that one.
But
go ahead.
But my number one is Kill Bill, volume 1 or volume 2. Pick one. I don't care. But I think volume 1 to me kind of like.
I think volume 1.
Yeah, volume 1. dude, I don't know. It just changed everything. It was like before Volume 1 and after Volume 1 for me. Like one of the movies, like we were together, and I was like you and I went to watch that together, and
Oh yeah,
I was like, as soon as like the Shaw Brother logo came up and everything,
you knew you were in for a
oh
treat.
my god, I was like, my eyes were glazed over, and I was like, oh my god, what's happening? And scene after scene after scene, I'm like, I was in awe of it, and like, and Uma Thurman killed it, man. Like, it was a revenge film, you know what I'm saying? And she's getting revenge on people that, I mean, who doesn't know what Kill Bill is, right?
Yeah,
Like, she goes
I,
back and tries to get revenge on all the people that tried to kill her after she was in a coma for 4 years. So, but it was like just visually, like sonically, the music, everything about the movie just gelled. And everybody, it could have been an easy movie to overact, but everybody was like on the same page as far as how hard they went into it. I love this movie.
the level of ambition for both of them. The fact that he had the balls, he was originally going to try to make just one film. Like, can
Yeah.
you imagine?
Yeah.
Like, oh my god! But I that was like an amazing experience seeing it in the theater. Like I
Yeah.
remember, we both went and we were just like, "What the fuck?" Like the whole time that we saw it on a Sunday night because we both had some time, so we went. And then, you know what? I'll go. I'll tell you a funnier story if you remember. We were both working at the grocery store. That literally that weekend, a strike had just been authorized, so we were supposed to be working that day. Instead, we had to go to this picket line thing. We're like, this is completely new and different.
Yeah.
And I was a little pissed that we had to do like this whole strike thing. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? But at the same time, inside, I was secretly excited because that meant we had the day off so we can go watch Kill Bill.
Yeah. Oh man.
So I was like, fuck, all right. Like, fucking silver lining, baby.
Yeah.
And we totally went. We were like, and oh my God.
It was the best.
And then the craziest thing, the next day I went to school. I was in film school at the time, and we were seeing one of my classes, and we were all just started after the class ended. We started talking about the film, like, "Oh, you guys watch it? Oh, yeah, this was amazing. You guys didn't watch it all?" And then, like within like minutes, we're like, "Let's go watch it again right now." And like half the class, I don't know. I think you probably went again too. We just started making calls. Like the next day, like Monday afternoon, we're like,
Do you want to go?
we went, and we all went
Yeah.
to like the next day, and on Monday afternoon, like half the theater was like folks that we just knew. We're like, we're all just gonna go watch it together,
Yeah.
and it was still just as awesome,
Yeah. Still to this day, it hasn't aged
dude.
badly at all.
No, we watch it at least once a year. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. So those are our picks. You know, what was your backup? My backup was Furiosa.
That was my backup too.
I didn't pick it right now too because we didn't do a Charlize Theron double feature. We did a Powerful Women double
Yeah.
feature. But yeah, good.
So there you go.
Yeah, Kill Bill 1 and Atomic Blonde.
Nice pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great pick.
Cool. That's our episode for the week. Any final thoughts?
Yeah. Looking forward to finishing Andor. And we didn't talk about Lord of the Rings. We both kind of took a little break from that, but we'll check it out probably the next day or two. And then, shit, by the next show, we'll probably watch 2 more episodes by then. So we'll talk about those 2.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
That's all I got this week.
All right. Well, thank you for listening, guys. Please like and subscribe. Leave comments or recommendations. I'm Francisco.
And I'm Andres.
This is Put It On The List. Have a great week.
Thanks, guys.